Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're going to be talking about how to strike a ferro rod. Now, I made my recent video showing making a fire with whatever natural materials you can find, and I had a few comments on there on how I was striking the ferro rod. So the first thing I wanted to say is my technique there was I'm getting bit by mosquitoes and I just want this to go quickly. That's the back and forth technique. But I do want to point something out. Now, I've been doing bushcraft style stuff since literally 2008. My very first video on YouTube is how to make a fire with flint and steel. And it doesn't even have any sound to it. I've been doing this even before YouTube. Now, the whole, hold your knife or your striker steady and move your rod, which is a better system. I've done that in probably dozens of videos over the years. It's just something I don't really consciously think much about. Although I have to say it is a better method if you have a bunch of small kindling or tinder, in the fact that when you're striking forward, and I'll show you the two differences here. When you're striking forward, you can knock over your little tinder bundle or basically throw it everywhere. So the comments are great because it does show people who are new to this that there is a better technique. So first off, I have the knife that I use, the Swiss Tech, the Walmart knife. This does come with a ferro rod. It is a small ferro rod overall. Here's one that I like to use. This is actually my second one. So, looking at the difference here, obviously there's a lot more striking capability. It's longer, you get, more of a stride. It's easier to use, but this one's totally fine. All right, still works great. So let me show you the two different methods. First, let me show you with the larger one so you get a better visual on it. I got some cotton rounds there, stole from the wife for this video real quick. So there's two, main ways you could strike a ferro rod. I think if you're not really taught this, or if you don't watch videos on this, the natural way to do it is to put the ferro rod against something or hold it in the air, which is almost worse, but to basically just strike forward. You're throwing sparks at something. Now that seems to make sense, right? If you throw sparks at something, they should land on it and it should light it up. The problem is that if, let's say, you have your little tinder bundle here and you go to throw sparks, you can knock your tinder everywhere. That's what people are talking about. So the better way to do this is, instead of throwing down sparks, you're going to actually lift your rod towards you. Okay, you're going to do this. So this is, I think, a better way. All right, so number one, move your striker and keep the ferro rod stable as if it's not moving at all. All right, and number two, hold your striker stable and move the ferro rod away. All right, but as you can see here, let's get two different cotton pads. Rough these up a little bit. There's one. There's number two. Let's see how both of these methods work compared to each other. All right, so the first method, to throw sparks at it. There you go, it's lit. All right, it works. It's fine. It's functional. All right, let's move this guy over, so I don't need it right now. I'll let that burn off to the side there. All right, compared to keeping your striker, in this case, stable and moving away. Now that happened to light on the first shot. Now I could have easily went the other way, doesn't really matter, but I will say, and I have to agree with the comments, that it is a little superior in pulling away, that method. Now obviously with a large rod, when you're pulling away, this is further away from your tinder. You don't have to use the full length of the rod. Let's say you want to get real close to your tinder. Let's move that out of the way. You could put it right in the middle and just use the tip there. You don't have to use the entire length. It just depends, I guess, on what you're doing, how big your rod is, but you do want to conserve your ferro rod a lot of the time because you never know how long you're going to actually need it. So in some cases, let's grab another little piece of cotton here. All right, rough it up. In some cases, you might be in a rush. You might be getting eaten by mosquitoes, or maybe your life depends on it. You need a fire and you need it quickly. So what I did here with this guy was the back and forth method, as you saw. So the back and forth, it's not striking down, and it's not moving your rod up. It was literally grinding it. Now grinding it, all I was really accomplishing there was getting a lot of sparks quickly. And again, it's because I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes and quite frankly a little frustrated. So anyway, going back to this, let's go ahead and light this with the superior method of pulling our rod backwards. One shot, right? Now keep in mind, these are nice, dry, fluffy, you know, cotton rounds. Even the bird's nest that I was originally throwing it at, definitely a little bit harder to light than something like this. But yeah, I mean, by the way, completely unrelated. Well, maybe not completely unrelated, but besides striking, if you want a super cheap, really effective fire starter, because obviously there's dozens and dozens of different cool fire starting methods, you know, different products you could buy online. Getting cotton rounds like these are flat rounds for like makeup removal and stuff. But if you just get regular, you know, cotton balls and you just put a little petroleum jelly on there or Vaseline, and you just, you know, pack those away somewhere, those are golden. Those things burn forever. That's old school, super cheap. You can make them at home. You don't have to buy specialty fire plugs or wax this or, you know, any of the really expensive stuff out there. Now they're super convenient, but we've been doing that, God, on YouTube since the very beginning. You know, over 15 years ago, people have been talking about that. A Vaseline coated cotton ball. It works very well. It's super cheap. You can make a million of them, you know. You go to the store, you go to, you know, I mean, you can get them at Walmart, Target, pharmacies, you can get cotton rounds. Now, ideally, you'd use, you know, real cotton balls compared to the rayon balls, but they work too. But anyway, so there you go. Two different methods, or actually three if you consider the sliding back and forth method as an actual method. All right, but I do have one more round here. And I brought it out to burn it, so let's go ahead and do this one last time. All right, with the larger ferro rod. Fluff this up a little bit. All right, so again, to recap here, we have the throw down, we have the pull back, and then we have the go crazy, right? Which is really out of pure desperation. You don't want to really kind of waste it, because when you're doing that, you are just scraping the heck out of it. By the way, I did call Swiss Tech, or I did talk to them. I didn't call them, I actually sent a message on social media. I asked about replacement ferro rods. They're actually going to see if they can get me some so I can show them on camera. However, they don't think that it's something that Walmart's going to carry, just because it is such a limited shelf space on products. Walmart obviously maximizes, you know, what they can sell and stuff, and so to have a separate peg or a separate facing for replacement parts like that, the representative I talked to said that's probably unlikely. However, they will work on perhaps getting it on Walmart's website. So I thought that was super cool. Not only did they respond and, you know, take that, you know, suggestion to heart, really, because they thought it was a great idea. So who knows, maybe in the future we'll see those on Walmart's website, but you'll probably never see them in store. But I still think, because they screw on, that's an awesome design, and you can get, or at least should be able to, you know, get replacements. So, you know, fingers crossed on that. It'd be cool if they do that in the future, because I definitely want them. So anyway, so going back to the superior design here, or method rather. I'm gonna hold this up top here. I'm gonna pull the rod all the way back, and there we go. So for all the people who, you know, watched my previous video and thought, oh, Jeff, man, come on, you don't know how to use a ferro rod? Well, at the end of the day, if you're throwing sparks, you're doing it right. However, there are better methods compared to what I was using. So there you go. Hopefully this helped you out. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.